everybody, welcome to Brick Vault. Today is a very quick minifigure collection video. We've got one single character. This is Snape from the Harry Potter series. And I don't exactly know how you classify this guy within the fantasy universe, maybe an anti-hero, but he certainly was a character that everybody loved to hate throughout the series. And then of course he is very redeemable at the end. He's probably one of my favorite Harry Potter characters of all time. And this minifigure collection just has 5 guys in it. He's kind of one of the more unique guys out there. This is the first of them. He was released back in 2001 amongst some of the very original sets from the first Harry Potter movie release. I believe specifically the first set he actually came out in was Snape's Class, and he also appeared in the original Hogwarts Castle set, plus a couple others. Most unique feature about this guy by far is that his skin is actually, or at least his head is glow in the dark. They gave him gray hands, and that's because Snape's character is supposed to be extremely pale. Perhaps he was described as like having almost translucent skin or something. I don't know why they made him glow in the dark necessarily, but it definitely makes him look like a very evil and unsavory character. His purple robes that go down the front and printed onto the legs look, well, dated, certainly. And this is a 2001 print, and you can definitely tell that that gray used as the negative space doesn't really work that well. But what can you do? It's kind of an early version of the guy, and because he's so common, he's actually, I think, the cheapest of any of the Snape figures, coming out to around $7.50. And then in 2004, 3 years later, Snape came out again for the Prisoner of Azkaban movie release, this time appearing in the set Harry and the Marauders map. The only real difference between this guy and the original is that the negative space on the print has now changed to black, and I think most will agree he just looks a lot better this way. But because he is only released in one single set, it actually was a very, very small set, he's just harder to acquire than the original, and he is at least $12 if you want to get him on Bricklink. Now this year there was a different Snape also released. Technically, I guess within universe this isn't Snape, but it might as well be. And this is by far my favorite version of the character. This is the Boggart Snake from that very iconic scene. It actually came out in the set called Professor Lupin's Classroom, and this is Neville Longbottom's greatest fear. What makes this guy unique is Snape's head is attached to, I think, Neville Longbottom's grandmother. So the print on the front of this minifigure shows sort of a sweater and what I guess is some sort of fur animal that's wrapped around her shoulders. Looks kind of like a cat, honestly. It's just such a weird and funny print. And because this guy is very unique, I think this set was just distributed a little bit less than the other one. The Boggart Snake minifigure is $15. Now that is not a cheap minifigure by any means, but let's jump up 3 years, and this is the most rare Snape minifig. He came out in the Hogwarts 3rd edition set, and I think this was released in conjunction with the Order of the Phoenix. His only distinctive features really are the exclusive print that makes up the face and the print that is on his chest. Now there isn't any detailing that goes down to the legs. It would have been nice to get that for this minifig, but I do gotta say that the print for the face is pretty good. He looks a little bit more wily with some print for the bangs and the hair that go down the sides of the head there, but the shape for the mouth still looks a little bit strange. Currently there's only one vendor selling this guy out of Belgium, and he is $55. So needless to say, this minifigure is extremely collectible. And then let's jump up to 2010 with the very last Snape fig, and he appeared in the Hogwarts Castle set, but this time the 4th edition. This is a 2010 release, and the print on the torso is actually, I think it's exactly the same as the other collectible guy, except now the negative space is just in gray. I gotta say, it looks better with the more matted colors. And the face print has been updated, and he looks a lot more similar to kind of how the modern minifigure face structure is nowadays, but he still does not come with any alternate expression. There is no Snape with any alternate expression. He has an updated hairpiece, which I think also looks better, but personally, I just don't think he looks quite as interesting as any of the previous minifigs. The tan skin is more accurate, but I do like the way that early LEGO interpreted this sort of villainous figure. Regardless, he is around $15, also a pretty collectible figure, and here are all of the Snapes together at once. This character as a minifigure only went through roughly 2 different stages of evolution in terms of the printing, but I think Snape was portrayed pretty well in LEGO form. I can't think of any other versions of this guy that I'd like to see in later sets if they ever possibly make one.
No idea.
But if you guys, the viewers, have any ideas about a collection video you might want to see in the future, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time at Brick Vault.